This is rough bushcraft, and this is a survival tin. As you can see, it's in a pouch with a belt loop. You should always keep your survival tin on your belt and not in your pocket or in your rucksack, because you could lose your jacket, it could fall out of your pocket, you could lose your rucksack, various reasons. This one, as you can see, is a tobacco tin. The lid's held on just by insulating tape to keep it waterproof and to keep the lid on. As you see, it's just a metal tobacco tin. I bought this one as a kit, but everything inside basically has been taken out and a better version put in its place. You can use any tin really. In the end of the day, you don't have to use a tin like this. You can see the inside of the lid. I have fishing weights and hooks set up to clips already attached, because you don't want to be messing around trying to do that whenever you're cold, tired and hungry and in the dark. In the tin itself, we have various bits and pieces. We have here a wax candle. Around the edge of it you can see brass wire. This is useful for making snares. The candle and the wire have become somewhat incorporated into each other due to the heat from the pack being on my hip. A tallow candle would be better than a wax candle, because if it came to it, you can eat a tallow candle. Can't do that with a wax candle. We have a solid fuel tablet. A wire saw, very useful thing. It's a lot easier to cut through the limb of a tree with a wire saw than it is with a knife. The ends of the saw are like this. You can easily improvise handles using the brass snare wire or fishing line tied to twigs, bits of wood, just anything to make a handle with really. This is a survival whistle. It's nice orange colour so you can find it easily. Around it I have fishing line wrapped to stop the fishing line getting tangled. We have a small torch for all the size of the torch. That's it compared to my little finger. For all the size of it, it's well worthwhile keeping that in your survival tin, because it's a lot easier to use a torch to see than even a campfire or a flaming branch. A torch is a lot better because it gives a lot more directional light. This is a set of safety pins, various sizes. Safety pins very useful for making repairs to clothing. You can use them as improvised fish hooks. You can straighten them out, attach them to a branch and use them as a spear for fish, spearing fish. This is a folding scissors. No matter how useful knives are, sometimes scissors are a lot more useful for certain jobs, for cutting certain things. Scissors can prove to be quite a gift. This is a magnesium block with a flint. And if I can get it out, this is a striker with this serrated edge. You can use this to skim off bits of the magnesium and then use the flint to ignite it. Handy for starting a fire. We have maybe like a little box of matches. Matches and flint are alright. Matches is a definite last resort because you can only use them once. They can get soggy and they can break. Flint and steel always gonna work no matter how wet. But the easiest way to start a fire is a cigarette lighter. Nice small one like that there that you can keep in your tin. Although some people might think of it as cheating. If you're in the situation where you need this tin, it's a lot easier to use a cigarette lighter than it is to use flint and steel. Here we have a small folding knife. Nothing fancy, just a very basic knife in case you've lost your main knife. We have a button compass. Navigation by the stars and the sun's alright, but it's a lot more accurate with a compass. Here's a sewing set. You can see I've got a scalpel blade and extra thread in there. useful for repairs to clothing. You can use the line to as cordage for lots of around the camp applications, including stitching wounds. Here we have a pencil with a fishing line, weight and clip attached. Just needs to be attached to a hook. The reason I don't have the hook on it is because it's in the open in the tin and I don't want to get a hook in my finger. We have here the survival instructions leaflet. This is quite handy to have. The instructions contain basic information, Morse code, how to make a fire, ground to air signals, various types of shelter, various types of trap, snare, how to get water, navigation, movement. It even has here a ruled scale along the side of it. The other great thing about this, apart from the information contained in it, is that the paper is sort of waxed, so you can fold it up into a box or even into a cone and use it as a water receptacle. We have here water purification tablets. Always handy to have those, because if you can't get a fire going, for example, it's the only way you're going to have to purify water. Here's a accident evaluation report, which contains basic information for an accident, and also allows you to jot down information. Handy to keep a record of people who are injured, but handier if it's yourself that you're writing about, because if you go unconscious when the emergency recovery team find you, then they're going to be able to look at this and find out what exactly is wrong with you a lot quicker than they would if they had to do a full investigation. The bottom of the tin, you can see, is highly reflective. We can use this as a heliograph to signal aircraft or people in the distance. It's alright carrying a signal mirror separately, but if you can use the bottom of the tin as a signal mirror, that's obviously going to be a lot more handy. And that is the survival kit.